Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel, and today in this video I'll be cooking some beans and some chicken meatballs. So for the beans you will need some onions, some bell peppers, and some tomatoes. And for the onions and garlic, you don't have to cut them as small, but you can roughly chop them since they're just for the beans. But when it's for the chicken meatballs, you make sure you want to mince them as small as possible. Now you're going to place 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a pan to fry the onions and garlic. And now you're going to put the heat on high. And now place in your onions and garlic. And then you're going to cook them until the onions become golden brown. And now you're going to place in your tomatoes and bell peppers. And stir them in until the onions, garlic, and all the vegetables are incorporated. And then after that, cover for a few minutes to let it cook. Now here I'm just cutting the onion and garlic to get ready for the chicken meatballs. Make sure to check back on your vegetables that you're frying up for your beans, and make sure that they're nice and cooked. And once they're nice and cooked, you're going to now place in the seasonings. Now the seasonings you will need are salt, cumin, cilantro, chili powder, turmeric, garam masala, which is like a cool Indian spice, some bay leaves, and some cinnamon, and start putting in all the ingredients. It doesn't matter what order you put them in, just make sure that you put all of them in, and once you're done putting them in, you stir. Here, I decided to put 3 bay leaves since I was cooking a lot of beans. Now here I'm placing the stew stir fry for the beans aside and putting in the red beans inside a big pot. These are beans that I cooked the other day, so I'm just using them to cook in this recipe today. Here now I'm preparing the chicken meatballs. So you need some ground chicken. Oh yeah, that's my little sister Elaine in the background. She was playing with the spices, so I had to go in and stop her. So first you're going to put in your onions and garlic that you've minced. And then after you put them in, you're going to stir them in, as well as stirring in the seasonings. So the seasonings that you will need are salt, paprika, oregano leaves and onion powder, some black pepper and garlic, some cumin and red pepper flakes. Oh, and you'll also need some eggs for their egg whites just to add a little bit more protein and to help the meatballs bind together better. Here I was checking back on the beans to see if they warmed up enough in order to add the stew for the stir-fry stew. So it looks warm enough, so now I'm going to be adding the stir-fry stew and then stirring it up until it's well incorporated and letting the stew and the beans simmer on low heat for a few minutes. Now here I'm going back to work on mixing the chicken meatballs. Oh yeah, I was gonna bake these meatballs, so make sure you preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now here I'm setting the mixture aside to get ready to align 2 baking sheets. So first I put foil on the bottom and covered with parchment paper. I did this with 3 baking sheets since there was a lot of meatballs. And then after that you go and ball the meatballs to as big or as small as you like until you fill the pans. And to make sure that there's no sticking to the pan, even though it's parchment paper, you should put some olive oil on it just to make sure that it's nice and not sticky. And here are all the meatballs done and ready for baking. Here I believe I baked them for about 30 to 40 minutes or until the top was crispy. And now here are the beans done and ready to be served. Oh, and don't mind the wall there, it's been through some years of cooking some delicious food. The heat from the fire kind of messed it up, but anyways, now the meatballs are ready. As you can see, the meatballs look very juicy. I think baking them rather than like just frying them on a pan makes it much better. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!